Inception is filled with unforgettable moments, from mind-bending action sequences to one of the most debated endings in film history. But for me, one scene stands above the rest, the cafe scene, where a character experiences the dream world for the first time. This moment isn't just visually stunning, it's a masterclass in sound design. A perfect blend of real-world physics and dreamlike chaos, where the ordinary cafe setting suddenly erupts into slow-motion destruction. To achieve this surreal effect, Richard King, the film's supervising sound editor, broke the sound into 3 distinct layers.
3 basic layers are the literal debris, explosions, the things that we see happening around them. The subtext sound, the sound that's the energy that's causing all this to happen. The third element is more fanciful kind of low-end moans and whale sounds and other kind of organic sounds that have been pitched and manipulated.
As he explains, I'll be following the same approach, dividing my sound design into these 3 key categories. Firstly, the literal debris. The actual sound of destruction recorded from real-world objects breaking apart. Secondly, the subtext sounds. The deep, powerful energy that drives the explosion, making it feel massive and otherworldly. And lastly, the organic manipulations. Sounds that are pitched and stretched to create the film's signature low-end rumbles and eerie whale-like tones. Now, let's dive in and start building the explosive dream world, one sound at a time. Before we get into the big explosions and reality-breaking chaos, we need to create those deep, eerie whale-like tones that make the scene feel otherworldly. I go through my whale sound effects, pick out a few sounds that sound like deep, haunting tones, and drag them onto my timeline. Then, I open my pitch shift plugin, turn off the time correction, and pull the ratio all the way down to -24. And just like that, we have beautiful low-end rumbles. Now onto the fun part, stuff blowing up. I dig through my workspace, searching for the most cinematic explosions I can find. I skip past the Michael Bay level fireballs and settle on a distant explosion that has the perfect balance of power and depth. I layer in earthquake sounds for the beginning of the scene. Because let's face it, if reality is collapsing, it needs to sound massive. For the end of the scene, I need a sound that transports us out of the dream and back into reality. I find a vortex sound, apply the same pitch shifting magic I use on the whales, and layered it in. Now, the scene has a sense of momentum, pulling us out of the chaos and into the waking world. Now, this is where the magic happens. To make the scene feel otherworldly, I start adding subtextual sounds, low frequency tones, reverse effects, and subtle textures that make the dream feel massive and unstable. This takes me a few hours of tweaking, adjusting, and experimenting. Now for the literal sound of reality shattering. I edit in the book and paper sounds, add a small hall reverb, only 5%, and start syncing everything to the scene. Then I take my cardboard box, cut it up and layer in pitch shift impact sounds at -10 semitones to make them feel heavier. Next I move on to the letter snaps, tomato squishes and tissue paper rustling, because every dream explosion needs a mix of chaos and weirdness. Finally, I process the fast whipping sounds with pitch shift and time stretch, giving them that dramatic slow motion effect that makes the scene feel larger than life. After hours of layering, tweaking, I present to you my version of the Inception cafe scene. What did you think? Did I get close to the original? Let me know in the comments below and drop a suggestion for my next sound design challenge. Until next time, stay creative.